Something is watching. Always. Streets of Rage 4. Part of one of the greatest beat-em-up game franchises of all time. After a 26-year wait, Sega, along with Dotemu, Lizard Cube, and Guard Crush Games, they finally gave us old-school gamers our wish. A modern take on a classic that remains faithful to the original concept. The entire series is known for its amazing music, awesome fighting mechanics, a variety of environments, and some groovy, playable, kick-ass characters. But Streets of Rage is also known for one more thing. The enemies. Oh my god, the enemies. We got some memorable ones. We have some that are just plain old little weaklings that we just chuck around, and others, they're gonna wreck you. So I decided to create an enemy guide for Streets of Rage 4 to highlight the variety of scoundrels and thugs you'll be chucking fists at in order to bring peace to Wood Oak City once again. Let's start with the OG of Streets of Rage, Galsia. This is the very first dude you get to meet in Streets of Rage, period. And he upholds the trend as the first enemy in Streets of Rage 4 as well. Galsia also has a few palette swaps found throughout the game, such as BT, Donovan, Joseph, Garam, and Brash. There's a new version of Galsia called Galsia, where he gets whipped by the boss Nora, becomes aroused, and goes Super Saiyan. No, I am dead serious. He gets whipped and gains golden hair, gains more HP, and then gets a buff where you can't stun or stagger him. You have to grab him and then throw him. And to make matters worse, if he gets whipped again, he gains full health. What were they thinking with this? Wow. Even Retro Galsia from Streets of Rage 2 makes a cameo appearance in the hidden stage. All these palette swaps have the same moveset. The only difference between these guys are their colors and the amount of health that they have, with Galsia boasting some of the lowest amount of health and Jonathan boasting some of the highest amount of health. These uncouth heathens are known for their sheer numbers and utilizing a very basic straight jab that does little damage, but helps soften you up for the other thugs. Yeah, they really just walk up to you and punch you in the face or the back. It's friggin' annoying. It's very insignificant. However, there is one move that definitely puts that jab to shame, and it is infamous. Every Streets of Rage player knows it. That is the Hunchback Knife Charge. Oh god, the Hunchback Knife dudes, the bane of existence. These guys are mainly known for charging at you looking like Igor, yes master, and bumping into you with a sharp object. To make things worse, they can also use broken bottles, sais, Yari spears, and even tasers, all with that stupid hunched over animation. Oh, but it gets worse. Their hitbox is their whole body, so if you touch them even from above, below, or behind, you will take full damage. And God forbid if you let them grab that Yari spear, their freaking hitbox gets enormous. Oh, and if you see them in a group, beware because you will get juggled. That's right, you'll have one bump into you, and then another will bump into you, and you'll take a lot more freaking damage. Oh, and don't think that hitting the item out of their hand is going to completely work. Oh no, they're not going to chill after that. They will pick that item right back up and hunchback charge you once again. Do not play with these guys. Despite all that doom and gloom and the hyperbole I just exposed you all to, these are still some of the weakest enemies in the game. I'm just saying that you gotta be a little careful when fighting. Hit them with anything you got. Throws, punches, kicks. You can grab them when they have a weapon, just as long as they're not doing that goofy behind charge. Don't let them distract or surround you. Chuck them into other enemies and you should be good to go. Let's move on to Galsia's best homie, Donovan. Now, you're probably wondering why I said that. Well, because usually when you see a Galsia type enemy, a Donovan usually isn't too far behind, as well as Signal, who you will see later. These bald-headed baddies have been causing trouble since Streets of Rage 2, and just like that game, they come in several other flavors such as Altet, Gudden, and Z. Yes, his name really is just the letter Z. And much like Retro Galsia, Retro Donovan from Streets of Rage 2 makes an appearance in a hidden stage. These milk-dub menaces have certainly upped the ante with the annoyance factor. First, they have a very basic jab attack, but unlike the homie Galsia, it comes very fast and out of nowhere. The minute he's in front of you, that fist just teleports to your face, unlike Galsia's punch, which is a split second slower. It is infamous for killing your combo, but that sudden punch is the least of your worries. You see, that little jab won't knock you down or take much health, but Donovan's signature almighty uppercut will. I hate this move. It does a tad bit more damage than the jab, but it also comes out of nowhere and it will knock you on your ass. Worst of all, it is an anti-air move, so if you try to jump at Donovan, there's a good chance that he'll deploy that almighty uppercut and make you regret ever leaving the ground. Friggin' annoying. Donovan, Altet, and Gudden, who have progressively higher health respectively, FYI, all have a standard jab and uppercut, but Z has what I call the armored almighty uppercut. When you knock him down and he gets up, he temporarily glows white and counters with a jab, but mostly with the armored almighty uppercut, which means once he commits to hitting you, it cannot be stopped. You will get hit. The only exception is in this clip, and that's only because I got knocked on my butt and I had an iframe, so the freaking armored almighty uppercut couldn't even connect. And finally, these Donovan dudes are pure weapon specialists, which means they will happily pick up a variety of weapons off the ground to attempt to stab you, slice you, or pummel you with. These weapons include pipes, bats, nail bats, claw hammers, sledgehammers, maces, pull cues, meat cleavers, broadswords, katanas, and even knives. Yes, the same freaking knife that Galsia uses. And what makes it even worse is if Donovan uses a knife on you, it does more damage than Galsia. What the hell? Oh, and we're not done yet. You see, Donovan and Altet are amateurs compared to Gudden and Z. These guys only rock with the hard-hitting weapons, and worse off, they throw them at you. Oh, and don't think you can throw weapons back at them because they catch them. Like I said, weapon specialists. The best way to deal with these saggy pants simpletons is to fight them on the ground. If you must jump kick, do so from a far distance or when you just recover from a knockdown to lessen the chance of getting hit by the almighty uppercut. They cannot uppercut you while holding a weapon, so go for it. However, this isn't foolproof since sometimes they can hit you in midair with a weapon like a bat. The minute they are in front of you, attack. If you delay even for a split second, that punch will come out of nowhere or he'll tag you with a weapon. Grab them only if they are super close. If you try to just walk in front of them, once again, that fist will tag you. If your character has very short range, definitely try to close the distance before grabbing him. And watch your back. These guys love to attack in groups with each other, Galsia, or tougher thugs. Teach this bum some manners, quick. Time to move on to another OG of Streets of Rage, Signal. One question, how come their faces are always turned away from us? Perhaps self-esteem issues? Anyways, they've been around as long as Galsia and still follow the same routine. Back fist, slide, and throw. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Another question, how does this lanky clown gather the strength to toss the heroes around so easily? Oh well, the back fist comes in two varieties. The yellow one will knock you on your keister, while all the other ones do a back fist that stuns you. All signals utilize the slide attack, though the green one seems to love performing it the most. On some occasions they will flash red and approach you before doing it. However, usually when they flash red, it means they are about to do their signature attack, the throw. Now the throw comes in two varieties depending on which signal you fight. The yellow and green signals tend to throw you slower and higher, while the red and blue signals tend to have a shorter and quicker throw, although sometimes you'll see that they'll also do the regular throw that the yellow and green does. Either way, it's freaking annoying. And stay away from ledges when you see these signals around, because 9 times out of 10, they will attempt to throw you off the edge and cost you a lot of health, which is freaking annoying. So, how do you beat these clowns? They suck at anti-air, so give them some jump kicks and flying knees. Their reach sucks as well, so a good old ground combo will do. If you want to be petty though, give them a taste of their own medicine by chucking them all around the freaking level. See how they like that. Oh, I almost forgot. There are 2 main ways to counter the throw. If you see them glow red, hit them. That means they're coming for you and they're about to throw you. It'll cancel the attack. But if they already grabbed you, hold the up and jump buttons at the same time just before you land. You'll land on your feet and take no damage. Don't hold them as you're being thrown, because this isn't the old games and there's only a 50% chance that you'll land on your feet. Just be aggressive, stay on your feet, you should be taking these punks down in no time. Let's talk about everyone's favorite new guy, Dylan. This guy thinks he's too cool to use his hands and is probably not taking the street thug thing seriously. Dude out here looking like a discount Orange Cassidy or something. Okay, so Dylan and his palette swaps keep their hands in their pockets, but they are far from defenseless. They all have the sudden headbutt, but it is performed in different ways. All of these guys have the quick version that is used as a counter when they recover from being knocked down. Francis and Brandon have the armored recovery headbutt, where if you knock them down, they get back up, they perform the headbutt, but they cannot be stunned or staggered in any way. In addition to the recovery headbutt, Dylan and Kevin have a charge-up version where they do this silly, goofy-looking squat and then haul ass towards you to headbutt you. I mean, think about it. Usually when people run up to you, they try to punch you or kick you, but these guys are going to try to freaking headbutt you. Freaking weird. But Dylan's strength doesn't lie in his skull. In fact, as you'll see later, intelligence isn't his strong point. His strength lies in those educated feet of his. Dylan and Kevin have this straight kick that is a bit slow and will stun you, but they also have an effective double jump kick as an anti-air move. Now Francis and the very rare Brandon, who only shows up in the beginning of the airplane level, take it one step further. They lack the anti-air kick and the straight kick and utilize a discount triple hurricane kit that allows them to clear a ton of ground and cause you a ton of grief. And yes, it'll sometimes knock you out of the sky. This move is a pain in the testicles. You could be fighting some enemies in the distance and out of nowhere, frickin' Francis or Brandon all the way across the stage will come out of nowhere and triple kick the crap out of you. Jeez Louise, man. The best way to deal with this laid back lame ass is to hit them with a ground combo. Much like Donovan, there's a big chance they'll anti-air you, at least in the case of Dylan and Kevin. You could jump kick Francis and Brandon, but sometimes their discount hurricane kick will take priority, so be careful. When you knock them down, give them 1 second to breathe so you don't get clobbered with their skull. Sometimes you can hit them before they headbutt, or the armored headbutt will actually fail somehow. But if you want to avoid damage, just stay clear for a sec. Now if they charge at you after they do that silly looking squat, just hit them. It'll cancel the attack. These Dylan guys are morons. They are prone to hitting obstacles often and may even triple kick themselves off a ledge. Use their carelessness to your advantage and you will surely win. Now let's talk about Wood Oak's very own Officer Feroccio. I apologize for the pronunciation. This is the first time I've ever seen that name. I'm guessing it's Feroccio. But in any case, I don't know if these dudes had too many donuts or they're just a living brick wall. I'll let you be the judge. But his body design is just, I don't know, it's just funny. In any case, these square-bodied law enforcers have gone rogue and are never alone. They are often seen with Murphy, who we will introduce later, and will attack both the player and the street thugs, so be sure to use that to your advantage. Unlike most enemies in this game, every palette swap is actually different in some way, and not just dealing with health points, so let's just go right through them. First up is Feroccio, or whatever. Anywho, he's the lowest ranking of the crooked cops, by boasting the lowest amount of health, and having the most basic attack. A gut punch. You'd think a big guy like him would do a bit more. He likes to hang around the other cops and is a total joke, maybe even more so than Galsia. Just combo him, throw him around, that's all you gotta do. He's really not a big deal. Just be careful though, because he has a tendency to sneak up on you while you're fighting other enemies. Next up is Dick. I know that the name can be jerked around in so many ways. He dons a highlighter uniform and has the second lowest health pool and also likes to be in groups. He possesses the gut punch as well as a charge up grab. Dick flashes red and then runs towards you to give a big hug of sorts. If you don't press all the buttons fast enough, he'll slam you to the ground. Just hit him if he charges at you and you're good. Just like his buddy Feroccio or whatever. Just hit him, throw him around, and be careful because when he hugs you, he's holding you for all the other enemies and maybe even flying obstacles to whack you. Now this guy is Officer Lou. He rocks a dull orange uniform and is pretty similar to Dick, except that instead of running towards you, he has like this teleport slide grab move. It also ends in a slam if you don't press the buttons fast enough. But what's also interesting is that he refuses to gut punch you. Well, that's interesting. He only shows up in the art museum level. Now he's actually the last of the police officers you meet, but he's not a big threat. I wanted to put the most annoying bastard in uniform last. And that said bastard is... Barney. I hate this guy. Wanna know why I hate this guy? Because half the time when he gets you, he comes from outside the screen. I mean, you could be walking for it and then BAM! He grabs you, slams you to the ground, and then hits you with that goddamn taser. Oh, and guess what? He is never seen without that freaking taser. What happens is that he flashes red the minute he comes after you, as if that warning is good enough, and then he just freaking whacks you. Now granted, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but the fact that he can hit you with it consistently is freaking annoying. He's almost never alone. He'll either hover around you as you fight other fiends, or he'll power walk to you before suddenly grabbing you and pissing you off. When I say he loves that taser, he loves that taser. If you happen to knock it out of his hand, he will single-mindedly pursue that taser until he picks it up. Oh, and if you get in his way, he's not defenseless without that taser. He has a triple gut punch. So he'll triple gut punch the heck out of you to get you out of the way and then grab that taser. Now, what happens if the taser gets destroyed? The dude turns into a Terminator. He will relentlessly pursue you and triple gut punch you as many times as he can for revenge for destroying his freaking taser. If you see this guy, either beat the snot out of him the minute you see him, or let him tase all the street thugs around him and then finish him off while he is weakened from the fight. Use his single-minded nature against him. If he has the taser, do your best to anticipate his Lou charge and jump kick him to make him chill out and then trash him. Do not let him corner you with his cop buddies or that darn commissioner. You will regret it. Now for Feroccio's, or whatever, brother-in-arms, Murphy. Quick fact, Murphy is a bit of a homage to the Alex Murphy of RoboCop fame. Unfortunately, there is nothing honorable about this suited-up savage. He's on the wrong side of the law, even though he'll take up arms against the street thugs like Feroccio, or whatever. He's best known for carrying around this super techie shield that must be broken before doing damage to him. He first appears alone as a discount mini-boss tanked with health, but later on shows up with less health and in groups, much like any good Riot Cop would. Now, there are 4 palette swaps of these guys, all of them similar with one of them being quite different. First you have Murphy himself, who is the most common, followed by Dunphy, who tends to boast more health, then Sand, who is different only by carrying a taser instead of a baton, and Shadow, who deploys a shield for a split second to block weapons thrown at them and runs around like a crackhead hamster chucking ninja stars. Murphy's shield regenerates faster than the others to compensate for his low health. If you disable his shield and knock the baton out of his hand, he'll do this rather quick but weak punch. Strangely enough, if you disable his shield and he still carries the baton, he won't attack, which is quite weird. Aren't Riot Police generally supposed to be the elite of the group? Why is he so hesitant to hit you with a weapon all of a sudden? Well, in any case, if you leave him shieldless for too long, he'll regenerate it, so watch out. Now, if he regenerates the shield without the baton in hand, he'll attempt to bump you with the shield. Luckily, none of his moves are particularly worrisome. Then you have Dunphy, who seems to like to team up with Ann and Barney. Seems like some of the cops got bought up by the Y Syndicate and will work with the thugs to get you. Not much difference from Murphy except for showing up only on the airplane level, having more health, and his shield generating slower than Murphy's. Sand also only shows up on the airplane level, teaming up with the gun-toting Iron, and carries a taser. Everything else about him is relatively the same as Murphy and Dunphy, with the punching and not attacking with a weapon but no shield thing. I really don't understand that one, but hey, that's on him. And finally, the oddball of the group, Shadow. He rarely uses that shield except on the odd occasion you toss something at him. It comes as quickly as it goes. He's mostly focused on running around, throwing ninja stars, and nothing else. His sole mission is to buzz around like a yellow jacket at a picnic, annoy you, then sting you with pointy objects. Dude has no chill at all. He doesn't punch, he doesn't shield bump you, just run around, chuck stars at you. That's his MO, seriously. Luckily, these dollar store members of the Shield aren't too aggressive, but they can overwhelm you if you aren't watching. Best to take them one at a time if possible. You can hit and retreat if they attempt to strike you, but I like to jump kick as they swing to beat them faster. Hitting them with weapons or chucking enemies at them damages the shield quicker. Morons like Ann can help you out with that. After the shield is gone, trash them. The less of them, the better. They aren't too tough. They are just resilient and a bit sneaky. Just follow those steps I gave you and you'll be good to go. Let's talk about the gunslinging goon, Gold. Now if you'll notice, these guys are named after various types of alloys and metals. Also, some of their uniforms don't seem to match their names. But there is one thing that's even more baffling. These guys are huge! How come they just carry a gun? Seriously, all of them just shoot at you. Not even a pistol whip. Dead serious. I mean, in Streets of Rage 3, they have some sort of physical attack if you got too close, but here they're just lames with firearms. In any case, the only difference between them all are health points and level of aggression. Gold and Silver try to keep a distance and take their time shooting at you should you cross their line of sight. Iron, however, is a bit more trigger happy, especially since you are fighting in a smaller enclosed area. But he simply does not compare to Bronze. When Bronze fires at you, he gains anti-stagger armor, here we go again with the damn armor, and trashes you with a 3-round burst. It's freaking nuts. Yeah, sure, he only pops up on this one part of the very last level, but he combos you with that damn 3-round burst, and he teams up with the damn Muay Thai guys. Freaking crazy. Now, if you'll notice, I really didn't have much to say about these guys, because there really isn't much to them. With every single one of these guys, just don't be downrange of them. Don't be in their line of sight, otherwise they're going to pelt you with those rounds. Especially Bronze, because he will triple hit you with them damn bullets. So basically, close the distance on these guys and hit them with whatever you got. Punch them, kick them, use weapons, throw enemies at them, it doesn't matter. As for Bronze, just get up and close and personal with him while he's shooting, because he has that anti-stagger armor while he's doing his little 3-round burst, and after he's done, just pummel him. Don't let him get up. Don't let him shoot. Once you get in close to these guys, they're a bunch of punks, and you'll be good to go. Next up is the flask-tossing newbie, Victoria. Quick fact, Victoria and her palette swaps are named after very powerful queens of the past. Look them up. Now I'll be honest, when I see these bohemian boneheads, I think of an artsy, pissed-off punk rocker Tumblr feminist that just had enough of the patriarchy and capitalism and decided to take to the streets to cancel this crappy culture. Each of these wonderful women carry a different flask that have different effects. Let's go through them. Victoria is the first one you'll see. She chucks a fire flask at you, which creates a decent-sized flame pit that does noticeable damage and sends you flying. Elizabeth is the toxic one. Popular word these days, eh? Remember the green goo you saw in the sewer level? Well, Lizzie here put that crap in a bottle, and when she chucks it at you, it forms a toxic puddle that slowly drains the health of anyone that steps in it. Luckily for you, it is recoverable health, so hit enemies to regain the health you lost from the sludge. Now Margaret takes it a step further. She doesn't want to burn you or poison you. No! She wants to blow you to frickin' bits. This queen doesn't use flasks. She uses frag grenades that explode after a few seconds and produces a moderate-sized blast that does good damage. And finally, we have the shockingly tricky Anne. She carries a flask that takes lightning in the bottle to a whole nother level. How the hell does she store electricity in the bottle? Anyways, unlike her sisters that throw objects slowly and at a high arc, Anne throws them at a quick high arc or just straight at you. Sometimes she'll even throw them just in front or just behind you, making her somewhat unpredictable. When the glass breaks, it forms an electric field on the ground with good range that does little damage but stuns you so that other enemies like Dunphy and frickin' Barney can take the upper hand. Gosh, she's annoying. There are two moves all these women have in common: the evasive hop and the push. When you approach these critters, they will perform one of these two moves. The evasive hop is a pain because they do it several times in a row to ensure you don't grab them. Sometimes they'll hop towards you to get an iframe and evade your attacks. Then you have the push. Now the push does very little damage, but it is used for two reasons: to get you away from them, or to push you into the mess they've made. They can push you into the fire pit, toxic crud, grenade radius, or the electrical field, which can be a pain. I do have a question though. How does this frail little fly of a woman push a big guy like Floyd? How? So there are clever ways to beat them. You can go old-fashioned, close the distance, and combo or throw them. You might have to chase them down since they hop around like fleas. They have no anti-air either. But if you want to beat them with style, catch their flasks and grenades with the weapon pickup button and throw it back at them. They will not take too kindly to it, and it will save you the trouble of chasing them. Or better yet, use their overzealous nature against them. They throw crap without thinking, which means they'll often hit their friends or even themselves. It is a hilarious sight to see, let me tell you. Not exactly the brightest light bulb in the box. One more note, be careful about grabbing them when they have a flask in hand. They'll often drop the flask and both of you will take damage, which is not groovy. Besides that, enjoy the fireworks. Now we shall discuss the drop-kicking demon, Garnet. In America, this lady is known as Susie from Streets of Rage 3, and unlike the other palette swaps, she's not the first of her kind you'll meet. You actually meet her a little later. She also boasts some of the highest health for her type. Now I'll be honest, when I see her, I think of a rogue, fed-up Miley Cyrus that turned to a life of crime because she got sick of social media judging her for her new demeanor. And Garnet's attitude in this game represents that ferocity and rebellious nature. There are 5 versions of this twisted chick, but 2 differences in fighting styles. All of these goofy girls use the slap, which comes out of nowhere, especially after knocking them down. Ruby, Diamond, and Garnet are less inclined to slap you, while Pyrop and Sapphire will be glad to make Stephanie McMahon blush with their eager slaps. But the one move that these girls are infamous for is the homing missile dropkick. Dear God! They do this move more often than the frickin' slap, but what I really need to know is where the hell did they get the leg strength from to do this move constantly and to knock your ass down? It's ridiculous. Now they won't just jump straight at you. Oh no. They can get you from above or below your position. And if you don't move far or fast enough, it will connect. And yes, they can follow your smallest movements in midair. Looks like they're trying to put Randy Orton's drop kicks to shame. Ruby, Diamond, and Garnet performs a drop kick where they get mad air time, which gives them time to change direction if need be, while Pyrop and Sapphire have this lightning fast short drop kick, which is still just as powerful. I despise both versions, but I think the airtime homing dropkick is deadlier because they can change direction in an instant. The best way to handle them is to keep an eye on them at all times and anticipate that stupid kick. They love hitting you while you are distracted. Throw enemies at them, use iframes such as during a throw, or long range fight them by throwing weapons. If a dropkick is incoming, try to walk away while moving up or down. It makes it much harder for them to home in on you. If you know you cannot move in time, use your defensive special. At least you did damage to them and you can get your health back. Watch out for the slap if you linger in front of them for too long or while they are recovering from a knockdown. Catch them in a combo, especially while grabbing them. Just don't stand there or you'll wind up like the wrestling tutorial dummy in the old SmackDown games. Now it is time for the tooth decay of the game, Sugar. I am saving this critter and one other thug for last because I absolutely detest these jerks. These are the replacements for the spiker biker clowns from Streets of Rage 2 and 3. And these women make me wish for them back. Monique from the Parkers has gone rogue and she ain't laughing no more. These biker demons come in 4 flavors, and the more you meet, the more annoying they get. First you have Sugar herself, which isn't too bad due to low health, but she's quite numerous. She attacks with her sisters and a bunch of other annoying thugs like Galsia and Sigma. Sugar and her sisters' 2 main methods of attack is this dinky but annoying little shin kick that can be used when you are too close to them, when they're recovering from a knockdown, or when you are recovering, which is a pain. However, that kick pales in comparison to the helmet headbutt. I hate this move more than that homing missile dropkick that Garnet does, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now these ladies telegraph this move by letting out a little yell and rearing back before sliding towards you at great speed on one leg in high-heeled boots on all terrains and then bashing your skull in with those damn helmets. The main issue is that they do it so often and with such precision, it is infuriating. She homes in on your most immediate position, so you better move up or down quick. If you stand still for a second or you are distracted for even a single moment, you will get clobbered, and to make things worse, you can get pinballed into the wall, objects, or into another enemy's attacks. Honey also does these moves just like Sugar, and she boasts more health. But this move becomes absolute hell when Caramel does it. Why? She will actually go off screen to do this move, and she travels much further than her sisters, which means if you get hit, you'll be collecting frequent flyer miles like crazy. Oh, and if she wants to be slick, she'll hide in the crowd so you don't see her. Did I mention that she gains anti-stagger armor upon recovering from a knockdown? This also means if she shin kicks you, it will connect if you're in front of her. Or if she commits to doing the freaking helmet headbutt as soon as she recovers, you're not going to stagger her. So, yeah. One more thing about the headbutt. Their whole body is a hitbox. So if you touch them at all during the animation, you're done. Oh, and it gets better because Candy gains anti-stagger armor the entire helmet headbutt animation and does it just like Caramel. They were just trying to piss me off when they made this enemy. Sugar and Honey are nice enough to just kick and headbutt you, but Caramel and Candy have one more move, the jumping pile driver. They will turn red, hulk up, then power walk towards you before picking you up, jumping, and then introducing your head to the ground, ECW style. Is there no end to this madness? Actually, there is a way to end the madness. Sugar and Honey are the easiest to deal with. You can neutral jump kick them if they try to headbutt you. Just make sure your timing is right. You can get Caramel like this as well. You can old-fashioned combo them or throw enemies and weapons at them. If you try to grab them, just be aware that they could shin kick you out of nowhere. If you see them hulk up, hit them to cancel the attack. They have no dedicated anti-air, although the headbutt can get you. Dodge it by going up and down. Trying to run away in a left to right line increases the chance of getting hit by it. Use your defensive special if you know the headbutt will hit you. Also be careful of trying to hit them when they recover, because they are quick to kick. As for Candy, and thankfully there's only one in the entire game, chase her down and hit her only when she's not doing the headbutt, because she gets that anti-stagger armor when doing it. Just keep moving, watch their moves as best as you can, and you'll come out on top. Hopefully. I hate these biker bozos. Let's talk about these Jean-Claude Van goddamn kickboxers, Raven. If there's any group of enemies that causes my blood pressure to rise is these guys. Sure, the Z Donovans, Barneys, and Caramels tick me off, but these dudes, dear God. Okay, I'll explain as I go along. There are 4 types, but 2 of them are upgraded. You have Raven and Condor, who are known for their numbers, especially on Mania. They have 2 attacks, and one of them is quite infuriating. One is the Flying Knee, which is standard for a kickboxer, of course. Sometimes they come from off screen or from the sky and nail you with it, which is a pain. But they usually do it to close the distance on you. And jump kicking it to counter is very risky business indeed, because it tends to get priority. Yes, that move sucks, but one is much worse. The 3-kick combo. Wanna know why I hate this move? You cannot counter this combo. Not even with a defensive special. In Streets of Rage 2, if they start the combo, you can use your defensive special to cancel it. But here, they can just have a good old time kicking the crap out of you. And it comes as quick as Donovan's jab or Dylan's headbutt. Just literally instantaneous out of nowhere. If you're surrounded and you get down by the combo, do not use recovery because chances are they're going to nail you with the 3-hit combo again. Oh, and it has very good reach. So if your reach sucks, you're going to take those damn hits. I absolutely despise this move to no end. There's another annoying habit that Raven and Condor have. They block everything. Well, except for grab moves. But they will block air attacks, combos, blitz moves, and even defensive specials, offensive specials, and weapons. That knee can deflect a damn knife or sword. Unbelievable. I mean, look at this nonsense. They tend to turtle up when they approach you and you throw some offense their way. Sometimes this is a good thing since they'll block for a few seconds, which means if they are blocking, then they aren't chasing after you. Now, Pheasant and Sparrow have the same moveset, but they have their own little twist. They block the same way, so no difference there. Believe it or not, their kicks are a downgrade. It is a double kick, which is also uninterruptible, but they rarely like to use that move, and it doesn't do a ton of damage. But that flaming knee! They occasionally gain anti-stagger armor and then fly across the screen with their knees on fire with deadly accuracy. It's crazy! Despite all this annoying insanity, there are various methods to take these butt clowns down. When they fly at you with a flying knee, move up or down, even against the flying flaming knee, and then grab them or use a combo. The flaming knee guys are especially vulnerable, because they home in and when they miss, they usually wind up right in your grasp. Now, if you're moving up and down, and they follow your moves, watch out. They are attempting to perform that stupid 3-hit combo kick on you. Once they are in front of you and in range, combo them immediately. You'll either hit them or cause them to block, which means now you can get them in a grab move and corner them. They really hate grab moves. They have very little defense against them. But be careful, because they get up quick after you knock them down. If you're about to get bombarded with knees and kicks, you better use that special. Knock them down and get the closest jerk you can get. Stay on your toes with these guys, and by all means, prioritize them if you can, because they really get annoying really fast. Now I have a bonus video clip before I take my leave. I did not know this until I did recordings for this video. On this part, if you don't kill Pheasant, these condors will keep spawning almost endlessly. I'm not sure if there's an end to them or not. But yeah, this part is absolutely asinine. It's stupid. But enjoy my suffering. Hey, I love this game, but that is some grade A money back guaranteed horse crap. Now, if you're wondering why certain enemies like Big Ben are missing, is because I consider them more on the mini boss side, based on rarity, toughness, and or health. Plus, I wanted to break the guide up a little bit because, you know, it's kind of long, but hey. So stay tuned for the next video where I tackle a boss guy and include some of those tougher mid-level enemies as well. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell. Let me know which enemies piss you off the most. And feel free to mention anything I missed or if you need any more tips. This is Nostradante, signing the frig off. Peace in the Middle East, chicken grease, and all that groovy stuff.